Intends to recall Dr. Sia. Dr. Sia, as you're aware, is DNA analysis and analyst. Sorry, and apparently they have identified unknown male number 1. So her evidence is going to be led tomorrow to establish who this person is. In addition to that, the coroner is going to make a ruling which relates to the relevancy of questions that are to be put to family members of Teoh Beng Hock by the psychiatrist. So that's stated in for tomorrow, and then of course the following week other witnesses will come. We've got Tan Boon Hua, who's prepared to give evidence. He was here today. We also have we made applications for other witnesses from the MACC to be called as well. The coroner said he'll rule on this tomorrow. So we would know by tomorrow more or less how many witnesses are yet to be called. And I think with that in mind, we will be able to perhaps determine how long, more or less, this inquest is going to take to complete.
Can you also tell us briefly what happened inside the courtroom today, and is there really any financial problems that Teoh Beng Hock was facing?
No, I don't understand. Well, lawyers are allowed, they are permitted to question witnesses. Ordinarily, they have to have basis for the questions. Dato' Razak was trying to establish financial problems on part of Teoh Beng Hock, but the family has clearly said that there is no such thing. I don't think we can go beyond that. Now, to suggest that a person would have difficulty getting married because he has no money, which was what was done today, I think, with due respect, to me, that's scraping the barrel. You know, the family members have clearly said that they were in a position to assist if he needed financial assistance, but he had savings and he was in a position to fund his own wedding. I don't think that was an issue at all, because even with the evidence of the best man, he was quite certain that he was asked to become a best man. There were no complaints, and Teoh Beng Hock seemed very, very certain that he was going to get married, and I think that's that. So the issue of financial problems does not arise. The first time I'm hearing it. The family has denied this, and I think I can't go beyond that.
Is that to you, is that a desperate act?
I am not going to comment on that at this point, but I mean, you decide. You decide. You know, I've always thought that even very poor people can get married. It's not a question of finance, really. Yeah.
Okay, and then could you also repeat the reasons why you want to call Hishamuddin and Cairo?
Well, Hishamuddin is an important witness. He's the person who, from the evidence that we have heard, directed most of the investigations. I believe some of the witnesses have also said in no uncertain terms that he was present the early hours of the morning when Teoh Beng Hock was still at the MACC building. So I think his evidence will be quite relevant. In addition to that, I think there was a letter which surfaced. I'm not going to say anything more. I think all of us remember. So perhaps an explanation as to that or events surrounding that. And yeah, I think we also need to know the background as to the investigation and the circumstances surrounding the investigation of Teoh Beng Hock. Why was there a necessity to do this around the clock and so forth? I think he would be the best person to answer these questions because he was directing the investigation. Yeah?
So when do you think the inquest will end?
I hope it ends this month. As I said earlier, I think we will decide tomorrow on exactly how many more witnesses we have. The evidence of Siva Nation is still hanging in the sense that the MACC have not or have yet to question him. And this is what I raised earlier. The Court of Appeal made it very, very clear that we can proceed with other witnesses first. But the question is, what happens when there are no other witnesses? So this is what I said. If there are no other witnesses, then there's no direction by the Court of Appeal that the evidence of Siva Nation is to be stayed. In other words, once we finish with witnesses, I think this court should not delay it any longer, and they should proceed with Siva Nation's evidence. This inquest has gone on for almost a month and a half, maybe 2 months now. I think we need closure, and I hope that it can be brought to an end sometime this month. The family is also very, very eager to have the Royal Commission of Inquiry commence. And as we have heard from the Prime Minister himself, he says that the Royal Commission will be only established after the inquest comes to an end. So this is one of the other reasons as to why it is we want it to come to a close as soon as possible, so that we can actually get on with the inquest, the Royal Commission of Inquiry. And I think we also have to look at the family of Teoh Beng Hock. Ultimately, they are the ones that are being pressured or under pressure because of the inquest and also the Royal Commission of Inquiry. And to them, the sooner all this is gotten over with, the better for them. So that is why I said, and earlier there was an altercation in court, but I think the point has to be made that all of us have to work together in order to try and bring this inquest to an end as soon as possible. And I think the magistrate, the coroner, has been quite fair to suggest and to say that if we can identify how many witnesses we're going to call, then I think it will be easier for us to determine how long the inquest is going to take. All right?